Good afternoon. Hello, how are you? Grandmother clock is just chiming. It must be time to talk about keto. Hi, I'm Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I like to talk about how I've lost 97.4 pounds since starting the ketogenic protocol and how you may be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your Saturday, this last Saturday before Thanksgiving. And I know there are people that may be here from other countries where maybe you don't celebrate eat until you pop on Thursday in November, but that's kind of what we do here in the States. So first of all, a little bit of housekeeping. YouTube has been rather odd lately. So 2 or 3 out of the last 3 or 4 live streams that I did, YouTube just lost connection. So if that happens, I will apologize in advance and I'll try to come back in. I can't just refresh my screen because it closes everything. Anyway, can someone please let me know that you can see and hear me? Because that's another thing. So there are a few people here. Hey, Judy from Hopkinton, Iowa. Debbie Doctor, hi. Trish Fields Newbert writes, fingers crossed for a flawless YouTube today. Yes, that would be a nice change. Debbie writes, I'm ready for Casey's wise words for today. Bonnie says, happy Saturday. Yes, yes, yes. Good. Can see and hear. That's excellent. Hi, Twyla. I'm going to jump right in. The topic for today, and I'm going to talk just a little bit about this, and then maybe we can go to some shared experiences or questions or statements or victories or challenges, whatever it might be, like a little bit more audience focused today, participant focused. Just one bite. Just one bite. How many times have we ever heard that from other people? Just one bite. One bite won't hurt you. Or that we said it to ourselves. Now, coming up on a week like this, Thanksgiving holiday, well, let's face it, it's supposed to be about giving thanks, but it ends up being about eating. Sometimes to the exclusion of everything else. Now, this year's clearly different. Many of us will not be celebrating with friends or family. Actually, it occurred to me, I'm by myself now. My husband is out of the country and has been for over a week or for a week and will be for another couple of weeks. And our kids are off doing their things and scattered. Plus, it's, so this will be the first Thanksgiving in my life that I will be experiencing with no one else around me. From my childhood, obviously, we had a big family. I'm 6 of 7 children. There was always a lot of stuff going on. And then get married. We got married right before Thanksgiving 40 years ago. We just celebrated our 40th wedding anniversary a week and a half ago. And we had our first little Thanksgiving in Boston, which was unusual for my husband because he's from Colombia, South America. They don't do Thanksgiving, but we did it. And then, of course, the children come and you have family. So I will be by myself. I'm okay with that. Remind me to bring up something about that, about this coming Thursday, me being by myself. Remind me, somebody remind me. But so this year may be different. It may make it more challenging to avoid food that does not serve us. We might throw ourselves a little pity party. Well, if I can't have my family around me, I can at least have the pumpkin pie with vanilla ice cream. And if that is your choice, that is your choice. But if here on Saturday, the 21st, your wish is to get through the holidays without eating foods that make you feel badly after you eat them, try to resolve to do that now. And just one bite can be a problem. I know it has been for me. I'm a person who needs to remind myself that just one handful of peanuts will not stop at one handful of peanuts. Ditto popcorn. Even things like mashed cauliflower. Just one extra giant serving spoonful of it can hurt me. Not hurt me, it's not going to kill me. But I don't want to have any more fights with my own brain about food. So try to gird your loins against the idea that just one bite won't hurt because, not to draw too fine a point on it. If you're in recovery from alcohol abuse, just one shot of tequila can hurt. If you've given up cigarettes, just one drag can be a problem. Same thing for those of us who have struggled with food most of our lives. And if someone else says, and last week's live stream was about food pushers. If someone else says, just one bite, here, one bite won't hurt you. Please, one bite will hurt me, and I don't want it. Thank you anyway. You have it. We have to prepare ourselves to be strong. Has anyone here had the just one bite won't hurt experience? Either that you told yourself that, or someone else told you, and it didn't end well. Please raise your hand. I'm going to raise 2 because it's happened with me many times. Now, since I've been following the ketogenic protocol this time, I started in January 8, 2014. I'd given up on losing weight. I didn't want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes, and I knew that was up next. Debbie is raising her hand. Debbie she steps away from the pretzels. We all have our thing. There was the pretzel incident with Debbie. Patsy Duggar, yeah, raising the hand. Before someone asks, my hashtag Casey's pink drink. Tall glass, filled with ice, almost filled with diet tonic water, a splash of diet cranberry juice, and a squeeze of lime. Very refreshing. I really only drink these on Saturdays for YouTube Lives for some reason, because I do so much talking that the tartness helps keeps my whistle wet. Hands are being raised all over the place. Jacqueline Hitchin. Hey, Jacqueline, even over across the pond. Yeah, just one bite. So we need to prepare ourselves for that. If you decide you're going to eat, eat. No judgment. None of my business what you eat. It's nobody else's business what you eat. It's your business. But let's face it, there's no real upside to eating carb-laden foods. There's no upside. There are a lot of downsides. When you're a fat burner, as many of us are, there is no upside to eating carb-laden foods. Our bodies function beautifully, burning fat for fuel. Oh, I was going to say, so January 8th, 2014, I have not had a stumble or a problem since then. But I knew in 1977 that the induction period of Atkins worked for me. I was in college. I wanted to lose 13 pounds I had put on by sophomore year. I got the book. I did the induction period for 2 weeks, lost the 13 pounds, and then forgot all about it. And I stayed pretty cute for a while. Mid-20s, by the time I graduated, moved to Boston, met my husband, got married, and by the time we had our second child, I was 25. Was I 25? Was I 25? How old was I? I think I was 25. I put on a boatload of weight. And it just stayed on, and I kept putting on more weight. So I was morbidly obese from the time I was in my mid-20s until my mid-50s. There would be fluctuations, and there would be attempts at low carb, and that I would cast in the towel. I would tell myself some fantasy that I used food to cope with problems. No, I used food to not cope with my problems. That I used food to comfort myself. No, the food punished me. Yikes. Hold, please. My husband is out of the country. I always look at texts. not my husband. But this time I knew. So, I've told myself the same things that I tried to warn people not to tell themselves. I have nothing I can offer you. I don't have a medical degree. I don't have a PhD. I'm not a researcher. I'm a former fatty I've lived your life with different specifics. But we have a lot in common, almost all of us, whether we are of different genders, stages of life, countries of origin, languages of origin, height, body composition, how many times we've been married, how many kids we have or don't have, grandkid, whatever it is. We have more in common than we know. So I can talk about the deluded thinking. One bite can hurt. Just one bite can hurt. Not that it's going to make you fall over into a puddle. One bite is not going to do that. That's not what I'm talking about. If you're a person that can have a bite and be done with it, great. If you are, you're possibly not someone who listens to my channel because you maybe don't have a weight issue or a food issue. So, but if you are someone who, I just went and just one more. Well, I've done it now. I might as well. Well, I've ruined today. I'll start tomorrow. Well, the weekend's, shot. So Monday. And then, of course, it becomes January 1st again. Okay, I'll start over January 1st. There's nothing magical about January 1st. Much better to wake up January 1st and look back and realize, wow, I made it through the entire holidays but without doing what I've always done. Speaking of which, okay, so I'm reminding myself of something I said, remind me. In my Patreon group, and there's some patrons here. I want to give a shout out to patrons. I have a private support group. And depending on your pledge level, you get 20 videos from me, pre-recorded videos from me a month at my kitchen counter. And the patrons suggest the topics. And 5 or 6 patron-only live streams on Crowdcast a month, 5 or 6 patron-only video group sessions on Zoom a month, and monthly one-on-ones with me, depending on your pledge level. A patron was so pleased. She made it through she posted, in this private hidden Facebook group for my patrons only. She posted on the Facebook group that it was the first Halloween in her life that she didn't eat any candy. She's got 3 kids. By the way, she and her husband run a Mexican restaurant. They have remained keto. So she was really proud of herself, which was really great. But then here comes Thanksgiving. Some of us have pressures from our family. And some of our relationships with those family members is complicated. And you can't just tell your mother to go pound sand. Well, you can, but it may not make for a pleasant day. So she actually said, I wish you would do a live stream on Thanksgiving Day so that I could just come and get a little strength. I thought, well, that's crazy. Oh, who wants to see a live stream from me on Thanksgiving Day? Well, I thought, well, and then someone else said it outside of Patreon or wrote it to me. I thought, well, I'm here by myself. Why not? Unless my kids show up unexpectedly, not likely. So I, on my YouTube channel, on my community tab, made a poll this morning asking if anyone would be interested in a public YouTube live stream on Thanksgiving Day at 11 a.m. Eastern. And let me just look. 42 people. Let me refresh the screen. Perdón. 48 people have responded. 54% replied, yes, please. The distractions and support may make it an easier day. 19%, I may watch, but I'm confident in my food choices. And 27% replied, I have a full day plan. No YouTube for me, which is great. We shouldn't be all about looking at some screen. We should be living our lives. So anyway, I may do that. 11 a.m. Eastern on Thanksgiving Day. I don't want to intrude on anyone's day. It's not any kind of a promotional thing. I just thought I'm here and maybe someone can duck away, excuse themselves from any pressures or temptations that might be there, and kind of reset their mind. Not that I have all the answers, but I've been there. And I will tell you, this will be well, I'm not going to have anyone here for Thanksgiving. But from the very first year, so I started in January of 2018. Thanksgiving of that year, not a problem. I've not had a holiday issue remaining true to the protocol. We can do this. And every time we do it, now it's not even a thought. It doesn't even come up. And if somebody's really hacked off that you're not making whatever dessert or side dish it is that, oh, we've always done that. Well, you are welcome to make it then if you really want it. But I'm starting a new tradition. Better health is my tradition. By the way, I'm wearing a t-shirt. This is from my Teespring shop. You know, I buy these myself. I mean, I designed them and then I buy them. Keto and 2021, bring it. Go keto with Casey and an avocado. And there should be a link to my Teespring shop below. This is a size small women's tee, ladies tee. I had a couple of requests. Someone said, I wish they were in darker colors. You can get them in different colors. But, you know, if I had it on a black t-shirt, you wouldn't see the lettering. So I did it with light lettering on darker colors. And I also did it on a premium V-neck, which is a little bit softer. I mean, this is very nice, but I'm going to buy one of those as well. Oh, and I forgot to bring my calendars. Oh, here's one. Oh, good heavens. Whole package. You don't have to buy anything to be 100% successful at the ketogenic protocol. Some things are just kind of fun. I mean, you know, you don't need a calendar or a t-shirt or a mug. But it keeps my creative juices flowing. And the calendars were requested. Calendars. There's me. There's Jack. By the way, there's Jack right over there. He's been waiting for his master to come home. He's got a long wait. Is one of our chickens, Dory, our pond, kitchen, and cuckoo clock. And then there are the things in the back. You can see there's a link to it below. Cuckoo is at the clock repair shop after 20 years. I kept putting Cuckoo in timeout, no pun intended, because it needs a cleaning. Now I am going to, with your indulgence, turn my attention to the comments of the lovely people who are chatting away. Okay, what? Oh, dear, Heather. Heather writes, my 14-year-old Aussie ended up with paralysis in his back legs from just running in the backyard. I had to have him put down Thursday. Broke my heart. One bite won't bring him back. You know, thank you for saying that, Heather. We'd say that, you know, I was doing fine until, you know, I lost my dog or I lost my mother and then I just, you know, started eating everything in sight. The loved one is still gone. And now you just have put on 18 pounds and you feel badly about yourself. That sounds harsh, but it is true. You know, I wish my mother had lived to see me now. Last time she saw me, it was 97, it was 100 pounds ago. You know, I'm 115 and a half pounds off my heaviest. So last time she saw me, I was about 100 pounds heavier than I am now. I wish she could have lived to see this. She would not want me to drown myself in food at her passing. Joanna Barraza writes, full day on Thanksgiving, but hope and inspiration would be appreciated. I will be watching. Melissa Andrews, deviled eggs and cheesy bacon Brussels sprouts. Yummy. Debbie Doctor writes, Melissa Andrews, that's what I'm making too, along with a beauteous rack of lamb. You know, this is a very decadent way of eating. People think it's restrictive. It is decadent, rich, and delicious. I put together a little video about my latest kick on making my scrambled eggs is to do it in the microwave. You know, I've been cooking eggs for 50 years, and I've done it every which way. they come out really fluffy. I undercook them just a little bit. Put a little bit of cheese, a little bit of cream cheese in them. A couple of rounds. They come up so fluffy and light and delish. So I made the video about it. I was going to post it. And I realized I recorded the entire thing on my phone, one-handed, of course, because I didn't have my husband here to help me. One-handed on my iPhone. And I did it in portrait mode, which is very amateurish. I may not even publish it. I'm embarrassed. But, eggs and cheese and cream cheese and thick sliced bacon. Debbie Heine writes, I'm self-isolating with 7 COVID symptoms. Ugh. Waiting for test results. Tastes and smell left me 2 mornings ago. So at the moment, I'm not the least bit tempted to eat anything. Be safe. Oh, poor thing. So sorry. Several people in our Patreon group. We have a lot of nurses in our group. And a lot of folks have been exposed in their workplace and have tested positive. And then, before you know it, you've spread it to your family. So goodness gracious, goodness gracious. Joni Sanchez. Hey, Casey. Hola, Joni. ¿Cómo está? Seb writes, publish it. I know someone's going to make a snarky remark about it being in portrait mode. It looks ridiculous. I could make it again, but dang, it took me so long to get up the energy. Not the energy, I just get around to do. I'm busy, you get stuff. And Debbie writes, I'm actually feeling wonderful today. Thanks, one and all. Jacqueline Hitchin writes, I'm so happy. I've kept to the plan, having 2 meats a day, no hunger whatsoever, and lowest on scale I've been for 2 years. Brava, brava, brava. Trish writes, publish it. We can cope. Okay. And it's not much. It's, like a 5-minute video. It's about scrambling eggs. And then I'll hear from everybody how they scramble their eggs. And that's fine. This is how I recently scramble my eggs. And I do it differently than my husband does. I use different pans to cook my bacon than he does. He and I are the opposite on almost everything except for the things that count. New Mexico nurse writes, my daughter and her spouse got sick and tested positive for COVID-19. They are both recovering. And there's no better time to try to get our health under control in general. It's always a good idea to get your health under control. By the way, can I tell you why I'm so thrilled with my arms? I, for years, would not wear a short sleeve top. Forget about sleeveless. But this total gym that I've been doing is really working. I've had it for years. I've just consistently been using it now since July. 5 days a week. 6 groups of exercises a day for different motion groups. 3 sets per exercise, 15 reps per set, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Joni writes, scale isn't moving yet, but my swimsuit went on a lot easier last night, LOL. Last time at our gym for at least a month. Let me make sure, excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I do want to make sure. Nope, not my husband. He tries to check in with me once a day just so I know everything's cool. Is anyone anticipating particular challenges for this week with Thanksgiving? I know, Jacqueline, it's not going to be a challenge for you. Shane writes, I don't have much pressure since it's usually my mom and myself for the holidays. We are both keto. But I want to still see you Thanksgiving. Okay, I'll probably go ahead and do it. If something, for some reason, if I'm just not feeling it that morning, then I won't. But otherwise, 11 a.m. Elaine Poinsett writes, I have finally made room for my total gym and plan to move it out of the basement. I had to get ours out of the closet where it lived. And I got it out to sell it. because it lived in our closet of our blue room for 3 years, folded up. And my husband walked by. I said, why are you taking pictures of the Total Gym? It's like, because I'm going to sell it. What? And about an hour and a half later, after I posted it on Nextdoor, somebody wanted to buy it. He said, don't sell it. I'll use it. He has not used it. But I have. But he doesn't need to. I mean, he gets on his bike and rides for 30 miles. So I'm not too worried about him in the Total Gym. Joni writes, ribeye steaks and garlic shrimp for us planned for Thanksgiving. Isn't that great? Elaine writes, today it's moving upstairs. Thanks for the inspiration. Be careful. They are heavy, but it is a brilliant piece of equipment. I've been very, very pleased. And I push myself, So I just 2 weeks ago had to raise up a level, because whenever I can get through all of the exercises with the proper form in a week, I raise the level. And it takes a long time for me to be able to do it. And it's going to take a long time for me to go to the next level. So I'm at level 5 right now. Started out at 3, I think. Debbie writes, New York has spiking COVID tests, so pretty much everything non-essential has been shut down, including gyms. Kiss Keto by Keto Cath. That's a lot of alliteration. Oh, the amount of gym equipment we've bought and not used over the years. Jacqueline writes, we're shut down in England as well, Debbie. And Melissa Collins writes, it's just one meal. Don't overthink it. We all hype up Thanksgiving a little too much. Stay the course, everyone. Perfect advice. It's just a meal. And I have hosted meals where there's been food that I didn't eat. It's okay. Years ago, nothing awful. My family comes, we all eat well. There will be some things that I'm not going to eat and they can eat. And when we go to their home, everyone is well fed, and there are things that they provide that we don't eat, but there's plenty of food for us to eat. We do overthink it. Cindy C. writes, Linda Leonard, add some other more healthy items to round out a Thanksgiving feast and donate it to an out-of-work neighbor or food pantry. I must have missed a message. I love that you guys answer each other. And that's what, like our Patreon group, I've said it many times. I think people join the group not to get access to me, but to get access to each other. We get to know each other's backstories. We learn the names of our, each other's pets and kids, and who's moving and who just moved, and what we do for a living, and what our challenges are. Jill's mommy. Hello, Luke, if you're there. Wow. Summer Frost writes, I lost 157 pounds doing keto. Watching YouTube keto channels has helped me. Keep it real. Joni writes, thank you, Casey. I'm super excited. I'm super excited to be a part of the awesome Casey live chat. And I will continue to do public content. Those to whom much is given, much is expected. And I've been very blessed. And I will continue to do that. Pat Sterry writes, you've inspired me to get Total Gym out of the closet. How many of us have a piece of equipment in the closet? Scale is lowest it's been in 2 decades. Now tighten things up. Jell's Mom writes, we love you, Casey. How are things in the UP? How is Scott? Is everyone staying safe? He's a doctor. Debbie writes, I'm bummed that I gave my Total Gym away, but the person I gave it to uses it and has lost 50 pounds. Twyla writes, I have found it helpful to bring a meat and cheese tray to every gathering. It really helps when people are snacking before or after a meal. And don't we find that sometimes the things we bring to a party that are keto friendly get eaten first? Melissa writes, you've helped me over the last 3 years. Well, thank you. Makes me feel good. Debbie writes, me too, Twyla, or deviled eggs. Everyone always loves those. Hey, Mona, how are you, dear? Hi from Istanbul. How are you? I know things are a little stressful for you. Vicky Drain writes, what's a total gym? Thank you, Casey, for helping us. I am down 31 pounds since August. Just Google Total Gym. You'll see. You've seen them on infomercials on QVC, but it's not like an as seen on TV thing. It's a legit piece of equipment. Kiwi Birder. You're an Aussie? No, Kiwis are New Zealanders, right? Are you from New Zealand? Hi, Casey. Just joined. So glad to have caught you live. Lost 68 pounds on keto over 2.5 years, but regained some lately. You're inspiring me to get back on the wagon. Jump on back on the wagon. There's plenty of room. Love the fireplace. Thank you. It's actually getting warmer today. So I turned the heat off and opened up a couple of doors. But I like the fire, and I already had this set up in here. Stacy writes, Jell's mommy, been to Istanbul. Beautiful area. What did Heather write that's funny? Heather writes, I'm 15 pounds lower than what's on my driver's license, and that weight was a lie when I got it. Never going back. Okay, let me tell you something. So I do banking day every Friday. It's a whole long, complicated thing that I started years ago. It's a very long, complicated thing. We have like 22 savings accounts. So I go to the credit union, and they know me there. I go in with a stack of deposit slips, and I write a check, and I tell them how to give me the change back, and then it's a whole thing. Occasionally, there will be a new teller. Not often, but there will be a new teller. And they can, put my information, my picture comes up on the screen. And I'll see them. So they're looking at their screen, and they look at me, and they look at the screen. They look at me. And then that lead teller, Vicky, will say, it's okay, that's her. My picture looks like Ben Franklin. I looked like Ben Franklin. I look like Ben Franklin's uglier, older sister. Oh, no, you're American. Okay. Sorry about that. Joni writes, Casey is always an inspiration. Wow. This is trial number 522. Just kidding, but sure feels like it. I never should have bailed from the wagon. That's kind of what, did you start out with just one bite, Joni? Was it just one bite? Just one bite can lead to 20 pounds. No joke. My cat's name is Benjamin Franklin. Pooh Bear's beautiful goddess, LOL. Yep, one bite. It's the inverse of, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. All you have to do is start. 20 pounds put on starts with one bite. You don't swallow 20 pounds worth of food. You start with one bite and then follow it with another and then another. And then next thing you know, like I said, well, I've already blown it today. I've already blown it this week. I've already blown it this holiday season. I've already blown it this year. I did that so many times. So many times. I would start out January 1st, just saying, let me lose 10 pounds this year. No, first I would want to lose my weight in my age in pounds. So, when I was 42, I wanted to lose 42 pounds. Just let me lose 42 pounds this year. That's not that much. I gave that up. Just let me lose 10 pounds this year. I would put on 3. Kiwi Burger writes, my regain started with one bite. Just keep it in mind. Who here, you don't have to, if you don't want to share, that's fine. We respect privacy. But if you want to share, has anyone lost weight sticking to keto and then started playing around and put on at least 10 pounds? Brianna Novak writes, now you look like Ben's hot girlfriend. He was a scamp. Karen Goes Low Carb writes, I'm Canadian, so Thanksgiving is an old story for me, but have had a hard time with working from home, keeping a routine. Joanna Barraza writes, I've never seen anybody that has pressured me to eat one bite. Actually, they eat just one bite themselves. Holly writes, that's no joke. One bite took me over the edge this last couple of weeks, and I've put on 14 pounds. It is amazing how that happens. I've told this story many times. I will not repeat it because I've said it so many times. In the early 2000s, I had lost some weight doing low carb. Not, nothing dramatic, but I hadn't been doing it for a super long time, but I lost some weight and I was feeling good. Then I had an irritating, disappointing, scary, for the second time, was diagnosed with cancer. Second of 3 times. I was irritated too. So I decided to cope. When I got the diagnosis, there was a pyramid of bagels in front of me at the office. I'd gotten off the phone. I made them tell me on the phone the diagnosis. They didn't want to. And I said, I'm going to have a bagel. No, don't do it, Casey. You've been so good. Everyone knew I was laying off the carbs. No, I did. So I had a bagel with the low-fat cream cheese because, of course, that's what they provided. And that was it. Next thing, it was mashed potatoes and whatever else. It was just a haze. And I immediately put on 17 pounds in a couple of weeks. Doesn't take much. Susan Rapp writes, last year lost 35 pounds. Went off keto last Christmas. Gained it back, plus some. Back on keto since May 1st, down 72 pounds. Keto is my lifestyle now. Holidays are just a day, not a meal. And there should be about celebrating something other than food. Pooh Bear's Beautiful Goddess, I know you don't like fasting, but I have to do that to keep me on plan. Went off plan last weekend and on Monday, back on track since Tuesday, feeling so much better. Do whatever works for you. That is the name of the game. I just don't like the word because people misuse it. If you're eating 800 calories worth of food a day, you're not fasting. You're eating. But that's okay. Okay, so yeah, see, I'm going to show off my arms again. Not bad for 62. Look, even a little tricep action going there. I'm going to wrap this up. I want everyone to remember, I do want to see Brianna Novak, added 20 pounds in 6 months just this past year. I had just one bite of dairy and bam, 20 pounds. Been off dairy since September 1st and it's almost gone again. Just one bite can hurt. So just avoid the bite. Find something else to do. Play hopscotch. Take up juggling. Watch a silly romantic comedy. I saw such a terrible movie last night. Oh my God. It's so disappointing when there are good actors and the movie stinks. And then you find little gems of movies. Do something else. Get a crossword puzzle. Learn how to crochet. Volunteer at a soup kitchen. Do something other than the one bite. If I can do this, y'all, you can do this. I promise you. My life is irrevocably changed for the better. And as George Eliot, the pen name of Marianne Evans, wrote, it's never too late to be who you might have been. Make it a good day. Stay safe. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Give people a little bit of space. Take it seriously. Keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer a day. Total, not net. If it's not on page 4 or link below, don't eat it. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Stop when you're satiated. And just avoid the one bite. You'll be so proud of yourself. You really will. We'll all be proud of you. You can come back next week and report how you did. And I may see some of you on Thanksgiving Day at 11 Eastern. Don't forget, calendars, when they're gone, they're gone. Okay.